50, 45, there goes Davis.
Oh my God!
Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow. Oh my God. Auburn wins. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl in the most unbelievable fashion you will ever see.
Oh, welcome in everyone to a brand new edition of the Dream Wager. Today is Wednesday, December 11th, 2024, episode 479. Kid, I would have started this on a pessimistic note, but I can't. I am smiling ear to ear because the Mets signed Juan Soto. I gotta get a little Met thing going on over here. I thought I had all my little tchotchke things over. Actually, hold up. I do. Hold up.
You gotta have a Mr. Met somewhere, or at least an apple.
Daryl Strawberry,
Legend.
I gotta put him up here now because Juan Soto's a Met, baby. I mean, the richest contract in MLB history, 15 years, $765 million. E. What are your thoughts? Because, I mean, it was down to us, the Yankees. I know the Dodgers were involved, and your Red Sox.
Yeah, I'm shocked that the Dodgers was involved, but I know they got like a owners group, so some way somehow
they're printing money.
Yeah, they was gonna come up with the money. So I'm not surprised that the Dodgers were trying to go all in. Back-to-back years, $700+ million contracts. I'm a little hurt. I wish the Red Sox would have got him because, to be honest, it could have sent us towards the right direction. Right now, the Yankees are coming off a World Series. Yesterday, they lost it in 5-6, but they made it there. The Mets, this is your best year since Carlos Beltran? About 10 years?
No, since Cespedes when we made the World Series when we lost to the Royals.
Yeah, 2015.
Yeah.
10 years, Dill. 10 years. I know what's going on, Dill. So
a long time.
As a Red Sox fan, I feel like Juan Soto could have changed out of those four teams franchise. It could have changed the Red Sox the most. That's all I'm saying. So
100%.
It could have been more impactful for the Red Sox. But do I like the move? Yes. One, he burned the Yankees, so I love that.
I love that. Yeah.
And not for nothing, I think I'm not gonna say it makes the Mets, over the top, but for the next 5 years, definitely have a World Series window to compete with the Dodgers for the NL for the next 5 years. I could say so. If y'all don't win at least two, I'm gonna say one at the bare minimum one. But if y'all don't win at least two World Series, I'm gonna say within 5 years, 6.
It's a failure.
I would say if you don't win one, is a failure. But I'm going to just say if you don't win at least two with the stars you have right now, still, if you could bring back Lonzo as well, which I doubt.
Yeah.
I'll just say it's just a little disappointing.
Disappointing, yeah. So I like it because we burnt the Yankees and we're not the little brother of New York anymore. Uncle Stevie is putting his money where his mouth is. I appreciate that. And everyone who, is pessimistic and has something to say about Uncle Stevie, you can't say anything now. When a future Hall of Famer who's in his late 20s enters free agency, you have to go and get him. You just have to. I think there was a report today that came out and said that it came down to the Yankees and Mets about how the Yankees weren't giving him his own suite for his family, like at home games, because they're like, Aaron Judge even pays for his own suite. Uncle Stevie said, you could have a suite. You could have two suites. You could have two suites. It don't matter. So it's kind of crazy if it really came down to a suite. I think that's insane.
Yeah,
I agree.
We know the Yankees is more of a business. Like they stand on business.
Yeah.
The Mets are like, we're changing the culture a little bit. We're just trying to get things going. We're trying to become what they are.
Yeah.
And I think, to be honest, you got to give him the world, whatever he wants. It's kind of like with Kawhi Leonard. He ended up signing with the Clippers just so his family could fly and shit like that. So
yeah. Remember, we were speculating when he entered free agency, like, $600 million, like he has to start there. I didn't even think he was going to get Shohei. I thought he was going to get 650, 670, maybe like 675. What he got is insane. I know a lot of people are like, you should have got 3 years, 300 million, and then get another contract when you're 30. But they want the commitment.
Yeah,
I
they want that
understand it.
guaranteed bag for
Exactly. So
lifelong security. And to me, the contract is just ridiculous because you gotta look at all major sports around.
yeah,
Jason Tatum signed the richest contract in NBA history, which is what 330,
something like that. Yeah.
320, and Patrick Mahomes signed the richest contract in NFL history, which is 10 years, 450.
Yeah. I
Both
mean,
under Soto's total.
what the breakdown to the contract breakdown for the next 15 years is insane. He's making 51 million a year. He's making 4.25 per month. He's making $980,000 per week, 139,000 per day. He's making $5,821 an hour. He's making $97 per minute. I mean, that's just that's just stupid at that point. I mean, it's actually insane. To your point, you saw it in the NLCS. The Mets had talent and we won a game or two, but it just came down to depth. They had batters 1 through 9. And yeah, the Mets had batters 1 through 4. You got to go and get depth to compete with the Dodgers. And I agree with your point. Say what you want. They might not win one, but they will be in contention for the next 5 to 10 years. I could guarantee you that. The Mets will be a top 5 team in the NL every year now with Juan Soto, Francisco Lindor. I'm not as optimistic as a lot of Met fans are bringing back Pete Alonso. I like Pete. I just think the Mets are in win now mode. And I think the way Uncle Stevie is trying to build this team, he wants to buy a championship. And I'm okay with that. We're in on Alex Bregman right now. And if we go and get him and give him $200-300 million, we're going to move Vientos to first base. And Pete Alonso's done at that point. If we go get Alex Bregman from the Astros, it's over for Pete Alonso. I mean, I love it. I love buying. A lot of people are like, oh, that's why a lot of people didn't like the Yankees. Oh, you just buy a World Series. And I was one of those people. But now I love it. Now that I have an owner that just is writing blank checks to people, I love it, kid. Now I will say we still need pitching. Corbin Burns is out there. We need pitching, maybe build the bullpen a little bit, but a future Hall of Famer in Juan Soto, who OPS is ridiculous. His batting average is ridiculous. He has a great eye at the plate. He has a cannon for the arm. He's going to be our everyday right fielder. The only thing that you can knock, he's not the best fielder. He doesn't track the ball the best, but that's fine. I don't care about that, honestly, kid. So I'm ecstatic. Anybody who talks shit about Uncle Stevie anymore, it just doesn't matter. You were saying about basketball and football, how their biggest contracts. When you combine LeBron and Tom Brady, their combined career salaries, it is $761 million. Juan Soto just got $765. That's insane, kids. So, back in 2022, it's kind of crazy. Juan Soto turned down a 15-year deal worth $440 million contract from the Nationals. 2 years later, he signed a 15-year $765. I mean, the largest deal in professional sports history. Talk about betting on yourself. We talk about it all the time with us. He just imagine turning down 15 years, $440 million. Your grandkids will never have to work again. Then he just doubled it and said, "No, what? I'm going to get 765 in 2 years." And that's what he did, kid. So I love it. It's kind of crazy, though. It's kind of like astronomical looking at the number, though, right?
Yeah, to me, I never thought we'll see this, especially in baseball, But hey, baseball's alive and well, and it's exciting to see it. Ellie De La Cruz is going to be next. I wonder what he's going to get, Dale, because it's going to be up there.
Yeah. It's going to be insane. But yeah, shout out the Mets finally doing something right. I love it. All right, kid, let's get to the games. Let's start Sunday Night Football. We were recording it while it was going on. Where do I start? The Chiefs just find ways to win. They're just that good. Whether you want to say they're that good, they're lucky, whatever. the doink goes their way. They win on a walk-off 19-17. The Chargers cover the 5.5. Game goes way under the total. Looked like the the Chargers were kind of asleep at the wheel the first half. Definitely came alive in the second half. They were without their best receiver in Lad McConkey. Joshua Palmer, I mean, he was right there. I can't believe fucking Justin Herbert overthrew him. He was right there. But honestly, kid, I thought he outplayed Patrick Mahomes as well. Patrick Mahomes didn't play bad, but I thought Justin Herbert outplayed him as well. Both teams, I didn't think ran the ball effectively, but the Chiefs, they did just enough to find ways to win, and they clinch another AFC title. So congratulations to them. But thoughts on this game?
Yeah, a little less exciting than I wanted it to be, Dale. But we knew it was gonna be a nip and tuck game. We knew the Chargers was gonna cover. One thing we knew about the game going in was that the Chargers was gonna cover people. But like you said, the Chiefs just find ways to win the game. When I heard that doink, I was like, oh yeah. And then I was like, no. So give credit to the Chiefs. Another title, division title. Patrick Mahomes, like you said, wasn't great, wasn't MVP is, but he was able to get the job done. Him and Travis Kelsey getting that last first down to secure, a chip in shot for field goal. That's what they're doing. They've been doing this for the last 5 seasons now. Andy Reid is gonna call it the perfect right play, and Patrick Mahomes is gonna execute. The Chargers started off slow. I just wish they came out firing. Kind of like the first matchup, they jumped out to a 10-0 lead. This matchup, Kansas City jumped out to a 10-0 lead. So it's just a little frustrating. I just hope the Chargers could get J.K. Dobbins back sooner than later.
Yeah.
Because the running game has been, in shambles since. Justin Herbert, he needs a true number one wide receiver. We see it time and time again. You had to do Smart, who you never heard of before. I don't know if you ever heard of though. He's a former quarterback and wide receiver. He was out there making cash. He was a second leading receiver, Dale. That's just, I'm not gonna say it's unacceptable, but that's not what you expect, especially from this wide receiver course. So that's what all they need, and they need a consistent running game.
Real quick, I just find it so crazy because Travis Kelsey, they still don't have Rashid Rice back.
Now he's gone for the year, Dale. He's done for the year.
Hopefully he can return if they make like a run, which at this point, anything's fucking possible. I just think they have good juju on their side. And it all started week 1 with Isaiah Likely with the barely getting in. I think, and Travis Kelsey not having a really big year. Juju just kind of being there. DeAndre Hopkins, had 1-2 good games, if that. He's really not being the DeAndre Hopkins that we know. Xavier Worthy is still finding his way as a rookie. Dude, this team just finds ways to win. I can't even make excuses for them anymore. They're literally the best team because I feel like they're gonna go on the road or at home, and everyone's gonna have to come to Arrowhead, and they're just gonna find ways to win. Something is just gonna bounce their way, or a call's gonna go their way.
Down call for sure.
Exactly. So, and bro, they don't even care about covering. They just want to win the game. So, I mean, I think this team is going to go to the Super Bowl again. At this point, I can't think of them not losing anymore. This team just finds ways to win. Are they that good, or are they lucky, or is it a combination of both?
I'm going to say both, still. Just because it's the way they're winning. Like the week prior against the Raiders.
Yeah. That's great. But it's been multiple ways. Remember when they blocked one?
I know. They blocked against Denver. Think about it. 30-yard chip shot, right?
Yeah.
The week prior with Aiden O'Connell. Week 1 with Isaiah Likely. Even this past Sunday, they with a doink off the field goal, off the post. So there's multiple games, at least 5, where he could easily lost. So give them credit for winning those games still, but come playoff time, you're not going to win those games.
These other teams, or are they?
I doubt it. I doubt it. I doubt it. Not everything going to go your way come playoff time. Things has been going their way.
But it's
block.
the Chiefs.
I understand,
I
though.
just feel like they got like black magic on their side. At this point, like just everything goes their way. When the doink hit, I just laughed. I was watching the game and I go, "Of course it went in. Of
Mhm.
course." Like they didn't deserve to win that game. They didn't deserve to win a lot of these games this year. But they find ways to win. I don't know, man. I really don't know. I think this. I'm out on the Chargers, though. I'll say this until they find a running game. I think they're a playoff team, and maybe they could win a game, but I don't think they can make a run just yet. I
No, no.
still think they're a little young.
Yeah, they need a wide receiver. They need a wide receiver. If I'm them, I'm giving. I'm trying to make either Jamar Chase or T Higgins the highest paid wide receiver in football. If I'm
Yeah,
them,
I mean,
and
it's
if I'm the Patriots as well, I'm throwing T Higgins the bag. I need a true number one for Drake May as well.
they were really missing Lad McConkey Sunday night as well. Maybe if they have him, they win the game. Who
Hey,
knows?
maybe this gets something going in the first half.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's what I said. They kind of fell asleep, but they were in the game. So it was a very bizarre game. But yeah, credit the Chiefs. They do win another AFC West title. Let's go to Monday night. Did you watch the Simpsons broadcast or no?
No,
No,
no.
I didn't either. I turned it on for a second. I was like, oh, that's cool for the kids. And then I went back to Troy, to Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. But nonetheless, it was a very good game. It was Kane goes under by a point, but we do hit plus 215. Joe Burrow 3+ touchdowns, so we do cash there. Bengals, they get the win, they get the cover. The 5.5, 4. It actually came down. You got
Yeah,
it at 5.5. It came down to 4.5. Kid, a lot of
yeah.
people were on Dallas.
They got me, but we still got them.
Still,
So it
yeah.
still worked out. It still
Yeah.
worked out. But a point is a big number, not for nothing, especially come Monday night.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, I thought it was a very good game, especially early on. Cooper Rush, I didn't think played that well, but they were in the game. A lot of underthrows. I know you had that nice fourth down conversion to CD Lamb, but in the second half, I thought he kind of went MIA. Like a guy like CD Lamb cannot go MIA. That just can't happen at home. The penalty on the fourth down in the fourth quarter, you saw Minka Parsons be beside himself. He was out. Like 15 seconds left. He just left the field.
Mm-hmm.
He was gone. He just wasn't having it anymore. By the way, Davarian Overshone, the guy that had a huge game the other day, he's out for the season now. He has to have a surgery on his leg. But what a game from Joe Burrow, I thought. Besides that one pick where they were driving again, thought he played fantastic. If they weren't so bad or their defense was so bad, he'd have to be in the MVP conversation. The numbers he's putting up this year are insane. Jamar Chase, there's no doubt. I love Justin Jefferson, but Jamar Chase is the best receiver this year. I mean, he's just putting up video game numbers. 14 catches, 177 yards, 2 TDs on 18 targets. Chase Brown had a good game passing and running the ball. And yeah, I'll say this, kid, they won. 3% chance they are still mathematically alive.
Yeah, small window, but they have a shot, Dill. Like you said, Joe Burrow, like he leads the league in passing yards, leads the league in passing touchdowns. Jamar Chase leads the league in receiving yards, leads the league in receiving touchdowns. Still, this offense is special. They're just supported by arguably one of the worst defenses in football. Chase Brown, he's looking like he's earning a job. Wouldn't be surprised if he gets a contract extension this all season from Cincinnati. You gotta love what you're seeing offensively. Deal all season long. All season long, you gotta love what you're seeing from Cincinnati. Deal. If I'm the front office, there's no way I'm allowing Jamar Chase and T Higgins to walk out. I understand T Higgins didn't have an impactful game, and I understand having those two guys not really leading to a successful season. But look at what Joe Burrow in those numbers he's putting up, though. These numbers are all time. They're leading the league. For the game, Rico Dow ran the hell out of the ball. I think he had a tremendous first half. 18 carries, 131 on the ground. Wasn't able
Great
to
game.
find the end zone deal, but CD Lamb got that touchdown first drive. I'm pretty sure that was Dallas' first opening drive touchdown all season long. Cooper Rush didn't play horrible, but it wasn't his best game so far this season. So give credit for Cincinnati for getting a couple stops. forcing a turnover. So glad to see they were able to do that. They got a small chance, but I highly doubt they make the playoffs this season. So hey, give credit to them for covering the big number on the Monday night stage.
Gun to your head, if I ask you now, December 11th, is Micah Parsons gone? Because he's fed up, kid. He had a great game.
Realistically, though, yes, but he's frustrated. Though he knows with this loss, you can laugh at it all you want. They did have a small chance to make the playoffs, so he's looking at it. There goes the season. The season,
and I think their defense played well enough,
exactly,
to win the game.
Exactly, and he saw the game get out of hand because of what turnovers. Still, so at the end of the day, he's frustrated just because we know the expectations the Cowboys had preseason. Let's talk preseason, coming off 3 straight 12-win seasons. It's not, say what you want about the Cowboys. Say, oh, they got blown out 40 something to something against the Packers last season. They don't show up come playoff time. They have won 3 straight seasons, 12 wins or better. So you gotta give him credit on that. And Micah Parsons just frustrated though. Do I think he's gonna be a Cowboy for the long term? Absolutely, Dill. At the end of the day, this is the Dallas Cowboys. You're Micah Parsons. Say what you want about Dak Prescott. I think Micah Parsons has faith in Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott, we know what he's capable of doing. Yes, may not win the big game, may not do this, may not do that, but at times he plays like a top 10 quarterback. At times he will be in the MVP conversation, and we cannot acknowledge the fact he coming off 3 straight 12-win regular seasons. I understand that doesn't mean much because he doesn't have postseason success still, but ask a lot of teams if they would love to have 3 straight seasons, 12+ wins.
Yeah, I guess the reason I asked that was because I see so many times where he is frustrated on the sideline where it's just like, it feels like he's checked out. It feels like he doesn't even want to be by his teammates anymore. It wouldn't surprise me, but it also wouldn't surprise me that if he got a huge contract to stay and Jerry Jones, kind of locked him up. But it wouldn't surprise me also if someone else threw the bag at him because he's a generational talent. It's not Micah Parsons' fault they lost yesterday. He did everything he could. Mm-hmm. And their defense, I thought, they didn't play that bad.
It's not a bad defense,
I think at times they're bad. Yes. I don't think yesterday they were all that. Besides not stopping Jamar Chase, which most teams aren't able to do, I think they played pretty fine. I think they played all right. So very interesting there, but they're both technically still alive. 1% chance for the Cowboys and 3% chance for the Bengals. But yeah, it's good to get a win for the Bengals. You could see it in their faces. They're kind of relieved about that one. But okay, let's get to our power rankings. Week 15. I was telling you before we started, I was like, not much movement here for me for my power rankings. But I'll start it off, kid. They had a bye last week, so I didn't move them. But I'm just going to keep the Redskins here. I like them. I'm not going to penalize them for having a bye, but say what you want. I like Eric Bieniemy, but under Eric Bieniemy last year, Washington rushed for more than 125 yards only twice. That's 27th in the league. They're 3rd in rushing this year. So Cliff Kingsbury's doing a hell of a job. I agree. I think his name will be a hot commodity this offseason, but I like this team. I think they're a playoff team. And I like their run game, surprisingly enough. So, yeah, I'm going to keep Washington at number 10.
I like it. At number 10, I'm going to keep the Chargers in my top 10. I had to move them down a little bit. Tough loss against the Chargers. In the week prior, they was able to sneak out a win in Atlanta. I like this team. I came around on them. It's just right now they desperately need a running game. That's all. I think defensively, they're a top 10 defense. They're just a one true number 1 wide receiver away from being, in my opinion, really good. So give me the Chargers at 10.
At number 9, I'm going to take the San Diego. I always call them San Diego Chargers. The Los Angeles Chargers.
It shows your age, though, Dill.
Yeah.
It shows your age.
I'm aging myself.
What they say, the young kids will call you Unc.
Yeah. It's bad, though. Los Angeles Chargers, tough loss, but, we just talked about it. They did a lot to win that game. They did enough, to win that game. They're rushing. They're 19th in the league in rushing, but they took a big dip once J.K. Dobbins got hurt. They took a big dip. I hope he comes back healthy because that's what they're missing. Lad McConkey needs to come back, and I think they'll be just fine. I think they're a playoff team. The AFC, remember how we said, oh, this is a gauntlet, the AFC? AFC is not that good this year. I think they're a playoff team. I don't know if they'll be able to win a game, but I do like what Jim Harbaugh is doing, especially with the offensive coordinator, Greg Roman, as well. They're really building this culture over there in Los Angeles. So, yeah, give me the Chargers at number 9.
At number 9, Dill, give me the Green Bay Packers. Had to move them down a little bit. I understand they lost to the Detroit Lions, arguably the best team in football. But, I've noticed a pattern, Dill. They only beat one team that's currently in the playoffs all season. They lost to every other matchup. They just beat up on bad teams. So I gotta keep my eye on that. Potential fraud alert with the Green Bay Packers. I'm not gonna go there. I'm just saying potentially. So I gotta see them beat a playoff caliber team. So give me the Packers at 9.
At number 8, not going to move them as well or penalize them. They had a bye. Give me the Baltimore Ravens at number 8. I still believe in them with Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. Defense has to play a little better, but I think this wide receiver group has come on just a little bit with Mark Andrews. You got Bateman, obviously Zay Flowers as well. So it's coming along. Hopefully Deontay Johnson, after his stunt, he could come back and try to help this wide receiver crew as well. It's not the offense I worry about; it's the secondary. So we'll see. But I couldn't penalize them. They had a bye. Give me the Ravens at number 8.
At number 8, Dill, had to move them up a couple slots. Still, give me the Seattle Seahawks. McDonald got this team going, man. Ever since the bye week, 3 straight wins. Now it's sitting on top of the NFC North. West. Apologize. Still, Geno Smith been commanding the ball, not turning the ball over. Doesn't matter if it's Walker the third or it's Chardonnay. They got a running game going. And Dill, you agreed with me. Jackson Smith at Jigba is becoming a true stud. They still got DK. They still got Tyler Lockett. Dill, I love this offense. The potential is there. I'm not saying they're gonna go out there and make a deep playoff push, but I think Seattle's at least to be recognized. Give me Seattle at 8.
At number 7, a team that staying the same, the Green Bay Packers. They lost to a really good team, and they had another team where they had every opportunity to win that game. I just think the problem with the Packers is they have a problem dropping balls. They led the league in drop passes last year, 26th. They already have one more drop than they had all of 2023. So it's bad. They got to pick it up. Jalen Reed is tied for second in the league with 7. Romeo Doubs is tied for 9th with 5 drop passes. They drop a lot of balls. Defense is okay. I agree. I don't think I think they play down to their competition. I think they play up to their competition as well when they play like the Lions, when they play like the Steelers or teams like that. So got to watch out for them. I still think they're a good team, but I couldn't fault them. They lost a 3-point game to, in my opinion, the best team in the league. So not going to fault them. Give me the Green Bay Packers at number 7.
At number 7, Dill, give me the Baltimore Ravens. They were on a bye. Not gonna, move them down, move them up too bad. I think Lamar Jackson, maybe the MVP is out the window, but I still think him, Derrick Henry, in the offense, maybe Deontay Johnson. I know he's suspended, but hopefully after that suspension, he could be impactful with his offense. I honestly think Deontay Johnson is what this offense needs. They need another outside weapon to pair outside with Zay Flowers. We saw Isaiah Likely, been doing a couple good games. Mark Andrews, he should be a little more impactful. Well, and we already know what Derrick Henry is capable of doing. Defensively, they need to settle down. Maybe we see it a little different, some adjustments after this bye week. But offensively, I think for the first time we need to see Baltimore be an offensive-led team instead of a defensive-led team.
At number 6, give me the Pittsburgh Steelers. I put them down. They were number 5 last week, but it was a good win. But the Browns are the Browns. You don't really want to put too much in that. As good as the defense we all think it are, they're just 15th in total sacks. They only have 32 on the season. TJ Watt, he's been a surprise this year. Usually he's on the top of the list. So I don't think it's lack of efficiency. I just think, they're doubling him every time. I would like to see a little more out of this defense. Offense has really, I was wrong. The offense has taken a next step with Russ. Looks like they're going to be without George Pickens again this weekend, which I think they'll be just fine. But 10-3, kid. This team is rolling. Give me the Pittsburgh Steelers at number 6.
At number 6, though, I had to move them up a couple of slots. Give me the Minnesota Vikings, still. Almost put them in my top 5, still. But, Steelers, they ain't lose. Or, I didn't want to make too many crazy adjustments. But, still, the Vikings are for real, man. I said this on Sunday's pod. Sammy D, in my opinion, should be in the MVP conversation. I think you check the odds. I think he's top 5 or something like that.
He's tied for 6 with Jalen Hurts, which he should be above Jalen Hurts.
He should at least be above Jalen Hurts. I agree with that. Jettas, I'm gonna be honest, it's Jordan Addison still. I think he's emerging as well. Justin is still the true number 1 there, but he gets so much attention. Jordan Addison is just torching the other defenders they have. So give credit to them. Give credit to Sammy D. And to be honest, defensively, Brian Flores got that team going. I can't deny Minnesota's for real. Give me Minnesota at 6.
They will be in my top 5. Give me the Minnesota Vikings at number 5. I mean, this defense is fantastic. But like you said, hand up again. I was wrong. I was saying, Sam Darnold last few weeks regressing. 5 touchdowns. You mentioned Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson. This team is rolling right now. The defense is fantastic. They rank number 1 in defensive efficiency, number 2 in expected points added. They allowed 337 yards per game over the past 3 weeks. 337 yards per game the past 3 weeks. I mean, it's kind of insane to me. I just think this team is really good with Kevin O'Connell at the helm. There's nothing that this offense can't accomplish. Brian Flores got the boys playing as well. I think this team could make a push as well. And I agree. I don't think he'll win it. Maybe even if they got, hypothetically, say the Lions fall and Minnesota winds up getting the 1 seed, I think maybe his odds would move up, but I still don't think he would win it. I think it's Josh Allen, but I agree. I think he deserves to be in contention. But yeah, give me the Vikings at number 5.
At number 5, give me the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think you mentioned it earlier, Joe. No George Pickens, no problem. Still was able to get a dominant win against a divisional rival who just beat you 2 weeks prior, Dill. I think the fact that Russ was able to spread the ball around, Najee Harris, TJ Warren was able to run the ball pretty well. Defensively, I agree. They're not really getting after the quarterback, but we know when the game is on the line, who's going to be coming around that edge? There's TJ Watt. Still, I love this team. I'm gonna be honest. I'm surprised Russ is playing this well. And like you said, though, this is a 10-3 team right now. Give me Mike Tomlin and the Steelers at 5.
Had to drop them a few spots, but give me the Buffalo Bills at number 4. Defense looked very susceptible last week against the Rams. And watch out, Rams could be a sneaky team as well. I'll say that. But Josh Allen is the best player in the league right now, quarterback. He deserves to win the MVP. It's not the offense. I just think the defense, they've kind of been inconsistent, especially when they're playing better teams. I think that is the worry I have with this Buffalo Bills team. They're second in the NFL in points margin per game. They have the 9th most rushes per game. They've dialed back James Cook. They want to lean heavy on him in the playoffs, so they kind of dialed him back as well. Despite all of that, though, winning the time of possession 29 minutes or 29 and a half minutes, it hasn't been one of their strengths. They're very quick with the ball. They rank 19th in the league in possession. You kind of want to hold on to the ball a little more, in my opinion. But I'm nitpicking at this point. All these last 4 teams, you just got to nitpick. But I like the Buffalo Bills team. Josh Allen is the MVP. He has my vote. Think they could clean up a few things, but tough loss. But I think they'll be just fine. Give me the Bills at 4.
At number 4, give me the Kansas City Chiefs. Still, I'll be honest. Like I said, this team could have easily lost 5 times this year, but they win in these games. Got to give them credit. They win in these games. No Harris Butner, but they still kicking game-winning field goals when the game matters. Patrick Mahomes is still finding Travis Kelsey for a first down when the game matters. And defensively, Dill, I understand they might not be the same defense they were last year, but they're still pretty damn good. This it was able to get after Justin Herbert. Dill, I can't say I love this team, but give me the Chiefs at 4.
At number 3, give me the Philadelphia Eagles. Had to move them up just one. You know, the defense. I think that's the biggest thing in the beginning. We were critic, and I think rightfully so. The defense wasn't playing well in the beginning, but they're the best defense in the league. They're first in total defense. They had one of the worst defenses in 2023. They've done a complete 180 under Vic Fangio. They allow the fewest yards per game, 284 yards per game, tied second in most points per game, 18 points per game. Compared to last year, they were ranked 30th last season, giving up 25 points per game. They just made astronomical jumps on this defense. And I don't think Jalen Hurts has played all that well. I think it's the defense it's the defense and Saquon Barkley. But Jalen Hurts really doesn't have to do all that much. That's the thing. As long as he takes care of the ball, I think they're going to be just fine, kid. 11-2. This team is a wagon right now. Give me the Eagles at number 3.
At number 3, give me the Buffalo Bills. Had to move them down just a couple slots still. I had them at number 1 last week. Had to move them down to number 3 this week. Just because they had a tough loss on the road. Give the Rams credit, but the Bills still, to me, like you said, Josh Allen right now seems like he's running away with the MVP. After that performance, even though it was a loss, still it was one hell of a game. Amari Cooper, I like the fact that he's back in the lineup. Right now, the only concern I have, you know, you might be a little worried about the defense. I'm not too much still, but is the tight end room. Is Dalton Kincaid going to be healthy moving forward? Is he going to be consistent? Is it going to be Dawson Knox? Who's going to be the starting tight end come playoff time? Who's going to be healthy come playoff time? That's my question. But other than that, I love this Buffalo team. Give me Bills at 3.
And the last 2 did not change for me. I got the Chiefs at 2 and the Detroit Lions at 1. Chiefs, you might have knocked them a little, but they just I'm going to give them credit and give them the benefit of the doubt because they are finding ways to win. The one issue I do have with them, and we mentioned it a few weeks back, it's the defense. They're 28th in sack percentage this year. They're just not getting sacks. Maybe Spagnuolo will dice them up in the playoffs when it really matters, but they're just sacking opposing quarterbacks just 5% of dropbacks and putting pressure on them just 32% of the time, which is 22nd in the league. So, defense is a little concern, I think, but, they just find ways to win. And with Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, I can't doubt this team. So give me the Chiefs at number 2 and then number 1, Detroit Lions. This team is the best offense in the league, first in total points per game. They're averaging a league high 31 points per game. Ben Johnson he's just a creative mastermind. He's going to be another guy, hot commodity this offseason, but Jared Goff's playing well. They got the 1-2 punch in the backfield with David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs, Jameis Williams. He's coming on as well. Amon-Ra St. Brown. You got Sam Laporta. I mean, this team is just ridiculous, kids. So I love them. They're the best team in the league right now, and I'm going to keep them at number 1 till they prove otherwise.
Dale, at number 2, give me the Philadelphia Eagles. I had to move them up. I understand it's just the Panthers, but the Panthers been playing a pretty good ball as of late. And I think the Eagles are showing defensively they're one of the best defenses in all of football. I think we got to admit that now. Offensively, Dale, I know Jalen Hurts maybe not playing up to that contract, but I think Saquon Barkley is playing it out. I think right now this is Saquon's offense. You got to let the offense run through Saquon. You're a defensive first now, run rushing the ball team. And Jalen Hurts, yes, he can still dice you up, but we just haven't seen it. I think, him and AJ Brown, we see AJ Brown a little frustrated after the game the other day, Dale. I'm not gonna take too much from it because we know what they are capable of doing. We saw it in multiple years now. Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown has a special connection. They're just not really in rhythm right now. And I think they'll be in rhythm soon. Not gonna take too much from it. Give me the Eagles at number 2. Very impressive. And at number 1, Dill, Detroit Lions. To me, the Lions are the best team in football right now. Offensively, him, I mean, David Montgomery, Jameer Gibbs, the best running back duo. They're just special, Dill. I think Amon St. Brown, Samuel Porter, Jameis Williams. He just needs to stay out of trouble and stay healthy. Dill, this offense is amazing. And quietly, Dill, defensively, Dill, they turned it around too. Maybe not
Yeah.
as much as the Eagles, but this is much a way better defense than we saw last season. Dan Campbell should be the head coach of the year. Give me the Lions at number one.
I love it, kid. Like I said, not much change in our top 10, I would say. I almost put not the Eagles, the Seahawks, and they're at 11, Broncos at 12 as well. Yeah, I almost put them in, but I just couldn't get there just right now. Maybe next week, but yeah, not much change in both of ours, I would say.
Yeah,
A couple teams were on bye, so I didn't really want to punish anyone.
yeah, I still have the same top 10, just not the same order.
Yeah, and no more buys. We're good
Thank
with the
God.
buys. No more buys for the season. But all right, kid, thank you for that. Before we get to Thursday night football between the Rams and the 49ers, a quick word from our sponsor. We are brought to you each and every episode by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. There's no wonder why Viva was voted number one hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV, Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebration as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives. Whether it's Huckleberry playing around a golf with the boys or an elderberry watching Thursday night football, it doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with that Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, kid, let's get to it. Thursday night football in the Bay Area. San Francisco 49ers hosting the Los Angeles Rams. Can both teams make it 2 in a row? We will see. The 49ers are laying 2.5 at home, minus 146 on the money line. Rams plus 124 on the comeback. Total 49.5. I'll start, kid. I think it's a both. I think both teams are in a tough spot. For the 49ers, I feel like, not forcing, but you got a young, injured team playing on a short week. And for the Rams, this might be a letdown spot, with little time to focus on their victory that they just have. So I feel like if there was ever a spot for McVay to get the best of his Kyle Shanahan, this is the spot. McVay can kick the 49ers while they're down in division game and, maybe get contention for that NFC West. McVay is historically one of the better coaches on a quick turnaround. 8-1 straight up on a short week in his career, Sean McVay. That could help because against Shanahan, he has not done well. 5-10 straight up, 6-9 ATS since 2017. I like the underdog, kid. I'm gonna take the Rams here. I think they're the better team right now. I think it's a good buy low spot, and also I think this is a letdown spot as well. Off a big win at home, people are thinking, 49ers might be back. I don't think so, man. I don't think they could stop Cooper Kupp. I don't think they could stop Puka Nacua this time around. I think they're the healthier team as well. So I like the short underdogs on the road. I'll keep the 2.5. I'll take them on the money line. I like the Rams here tomorrow, kid. What do you like?
Dill, I'm with you, man. I don't know if I'm gonna go there officially, Dill, but I like the Rams. In my opinion, they're the better team right now. They're much healthier. They have at least a more consistent running game due to injuries. And the wide receiver core, Debo's having a down year. George Kittle, he's been in and out of the lineup. I can honestly say right now, Jawan Jennings has been the number one wide receiver throughout the season. Still, I just think right now with the Rams coming off a big, huge win, they have that NFC North title. I mean, I keep saying North, NFC West title in picture. They'll, can Seattle slip up? I think right now, I think it's Rams got the momentum. They in rhythm offensively. Can the defense slow down Brock Purdy in this offense? That's my question, Dill. So I'm with you. I think Rams are live dogs comes Thursday night.
As for the total opened up at 47. It's up to 48 now. Rams had a high scoring finish last week. It was a
Both
huge game.
teams.
Yeah, both teams as well. I was saying more total, like Bills, the whole game. It was like 80 something points. Their offense looked great against one of the better defenses. 457 yards. It was a 42 to 40 for victory. And let's not forget, though, LA gave up 445 yards as well, 8 yards per play. They had a block punt for a touchdown. I think that was obviously the difference. And like you said, San Francisco had a massive day against the Bears, 452 yards. They won 38 to 13. They were 5 for 6 in the red zone as well. I think that stuck out to me. And I just think defensively, the 49ers are thin. There are numerous starters that are out. Lack of rest, like I said, on a short week. It doesn't allow much time for the body to heal, get the bodies back. And these two, back in week 3, they combined for 51 points when the total was at around 44 and a half. I got to go over, kid. I think we're going to see a lot of points again. It fucked me last on Monday, but I think we see some points here. I take the over 48 and a half, kid. What do you like?
I'm going under. I'm going under 49 and a half. And I'll be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if this number gets to 50, 50 and a half, maybe even 51, Dill. We just saw uh both these teams' best offensive outing this season. The 49ers put up 30 plus, the Rams put up 40 something, Dill. I think we're gonna see just another close divisional matchup. There, I think both of these teams know each other very well. I don't see either side, firing on each other. I think we're gonna see a nip and tuck close game there. I wouldn't be surprised if it's like 20, 21, 24, 21, 17, something like that, Dale. So I expect a close under game, Dale. Give me the under 49 and a half. Wouldn't be surprised if the number shoots up more as well. So give me the under 50, 50 and a half if it jumps that high as well.
Let's go to player props. Any guys you're really eyeing here on Thursday Night Football? Because I like one. I like Brock Purdy, man. I'm going to take his over passing yards, 245 and a half. It's at minus 114. But like I said, he's coming off a monster week last week against the Bears. He threw for 325 yards. And, he threw against the Rams in week 3. He threw for 292. Now on a short week, at home, the Rams, they've surrendered the second highest yards per attempt to opposing quarterbacks, the 4th highest EPA per dropback this season. They also have the 5th lowest PFF coverage as well. The Rams, they're 23rd in pass rush. They really don't get home as well. Banged up. I think they can't run the ball. Jordan Mason's hurt. Christian McCaffrey, Isaiah Guerrero, his foot is banged up. I think they're just going to pass the ball a lot here in a game where I think we're going to see a lot of points. It fits the game script. Give me the over 245 and a half for Brock Purdy.
Yeah, I like it. I like it because I think they're going to have to pass the ball on this Rams defense still. I'm going to go Puka Nicole over 87 and a half receiving yards still. He's just been a monster since he came back from the injury. He went over this mark 5 out of the 7 games since he's been back, and 4 out of those 5, though, he's went over 100 yards. And then at one game he didn't. He had 98. So he's just been on a tear. We saw what he did last week against Buffalo, Dill. I, I think Puka is honestly likes to go over 100 plus yards once again. Give me over 87 and a half receiving yards.
I love it, kid. Hopefully he has another monster game. Let's go to the association. Only 2 games here. The NBA Cup, quarterfinals. We got the Knicks and the Hawks. Big spread for the Knicks. And the Golden State Warriors and the Houston Rockets, kid. What are we feeling here for Wednesday?
On Wednesday night, I ended up catching a big number earlier. I took Atlanta plus 8.5. I still love plus 6.5. We saw Atlanta. They've been rolling, don't get me wrong, Knicks have been turning it around as well. I think both teams won 4 out of the last 5, but I think 6.5 is too many points. And like I said, we know Trae Young. He has a little history at the Garden. It wouldn't surprise me if he has a huge game, So Give me Trey Young over 21.5 points as well. We saw him have a huge game the other night against, I forgot who it was, but I think he had like 30 points and 18 assists, something like that. Still, we know Trey Young is that guy, and he lives up to the moments. Like I said, wouldn't be surprised he has a huge game in MSG, and I like the plus 6.5 with Atlanta. And then Golden State versus Houston Rockets. Rockets laying 3 surprisingly, but Rockets are a good team. They'll Golden State fell off a little bit to me. I'm not gonna take too much from it. I do think Golden State are live, though. I think I'm not gonna say they want the NBA Cup because they accomplished so much. Kerr, Draymond, and Steph, but it wouldn't be a bad constellation prize either to add to the great history they already have. Though I think they'll go for the cup. I think they're live dogs in this scenario. But I like Jalen Green over 19.5 points. I think 19.5 is just a short number in a game to advance into the cup. I think Jalen Green has a big game, and then I even have some action for tomorrow. Though let's get some Thursday action. Only one play. Don't get me wrong. Boston laying 13.5. I wouldn't trust it. And then Miami laying 11. I'll lean the plus 11 with Toronto. No Scotty Barnes, so I'm just stay away. I'm gonna just stay away. Still, 8 o'clock. Sacramento Kings taking on New Orleans Pelicans. New Orleans Pelicans just a disappointing due to injuries. They'll give me the Kings minus 5.5 on the road. That's my only play for Thursday. Hopefully, for Thursday's episode, I'll give you a shitload of plays because we've been missing the NBA. Just a couple, 2 games here, 2 games there. I understand it's competitive basketball in the cup, but I miss a huge slate though.
One thing I wanted to make a note of before we get up on out of here. Jokic is the best player, and I don't think it's actually close this season. He's currently averaging 30-point triple-double, 32.3 points per game, 13.6 rebounds per game, 10.2 assists, while shooting 56% from the field. He's shooting 50% from behind the arc as well. I mean,
he's only getting better.
I just don't understand. How does he see? He sees the play develop before anybody else. He's a center. People are talking about he's a top 5 center in the of all time. Fuck that. He might be the best center of all time at this point. I mean, he's just putting up video game. No, he is. I mean, he's definitely the best center I've ever seen in my life. He's OD, kid.
I give you that. In our lives, yes. Shaq was the most dominant. He wasn't the best.
He would put up numbers against Shaq.
We never really saw, the dream.
No.
Never saw Kareem. We never saw the great Wilt. Never saw the great Mr. Russell. So it's not like, Dylan didn't make an outlandish statement.
I just don't think those legends, and they are legends in their own era, but I just don't think that would translate in today because they're so athletic and better today.
I agree 100%, though. I agree with you 100%. In my opinion, I think Jokic is working his way to a third MVP.
Yeah, he definitely is.
He's on a tear. I think just in his past 2 games, he's combined for over 100 points.
It's insane.
It's insane.
Real quick, before we get up out of here, breaking news. We were just on the top of the show. We were talking about MLB. We will end it in MLB. Nationals get the number 1 pick in the next year's draft. The Mariners make a huge leap to number 3 from 18, to number 3. They get a big leap. And then the New York Yankees, they make Max Fried the highest paid left-handed pitcher of all time. 8 years, $218 million. They didn't get Juan Soto, but they got Max Fried. That's what they needed, kid. What a splash for the Yankees.
I'm not going to say that's what they needed, though, just because the pitching was honestly pretty good. It was the bats kind of choking, especially come World Series time, Dill. So, yes, he's a great addition. You might have the best 1-2 punch in all of baseball if healthy with
Garrett
Cohen
Cole
and Fried. Yes, you might have that. You might. But at the end, they come playoff time. Is Judge going to bat 120 or is he going to bat 280 plus and hit a couple home runs? That's the question you're going to ask yourself, Yankees. I don't know if that's going to happen, but great signing.
Yeah.
Great constellation prize.
I mean, the Yankees making him the highest paid lefty of all time. Let that sink in. That's insane to me. They're spending a lot of money this offseason in baseball. I fucking love to see it. Kid, any last words before we get up out of here?
Dill, let's just have another great week. You know, your boy's been on the road in the NFL. It's been hot. I think I went 9-5, week 14.
Attaboy.
Let's just continue rolling.
Let's continue to roll, kid. Good luck. God bless. See you guys on Friday. Peace.